The exploiter.
Break a rule and steal a piece of it that they don't deserve.
Does Epic Games realize what's happening?
Today, with the help of
miss Moda,
this
bro.
anonymous member of the
Oh.
Fortnite hacking and cheating community, I will be exposing the massive network of cheaters
Whoa,
that
okay.
have been robbing Fortnite and all of the honest players blind of money for the better part of a decade.
Wow, okay.
And I run the most popular Fortnite cheat selling company. I've made over $5,000 cheating on Fortnite and qualified for FNCS Grand Finals.
While some of the more casual fans I have might associate hacking with that one cracked guy who keeps cranking 90s in your lobby, it wasn't always like that. People have been
thought hacks
cheating
would-
and hacking
What?
in video games
That's
ever
hacking.
since the first game was ever invented, way before Fortnite was
Good old
even
Pong.
thought in the minds of Epic Games. Back in the day, developers would integrate cheat codes into their game. This was mainly to help out during the playtesting phase of the game development. But the developers left these cheat codes in the back end of the games after they were released. They put them there thinking that nobody would even notice.
Interesting, we're getting like a
considering
history
it was
lesson.
just useless game files. But throughout time, hackers started to notice that if they accessed these game files, they could cheat like the developers. Cheating became a widely
speedrunning is
accepted
so
part of
bad.
the gaming community. Don't get me wrong, there were still gaming purists, but most people were just cheating at home on their own game.
Yo,
and
we all did it, bro.
exactly
We've all been there,
hurting
chat.
anybody.
GTA, man. Everyone loved, dude. Cheating in GTA, like, it's just a different experience. Cheating in single-player games, though, you're not hurting anyone. It's only your own experience. Who cares? You know what I mean? Cheating in online games is where it gets mad cringe.
Experience. However, as time went on and online multiplayer games like Fortnite were invented, people started developing hacks that would impact not just themselves, but the players that they were cheating against. When people started first cheating
Oh,
in
bro,
online
this is
shooters, it was very easy to tell.
CIA.gov.
You could see them
He's just
flying
flying.
out of the sky, their limbs flailing all over the place.
CIA.gov.
But recently,
Whoa.
as hacks
Dude, that is crazy. What?
become much harder to figure out if someone
Dude.
is really cheating, or they might just be really good at the game. Of course, most video games like Fortnite have now adapted and have built-in cheat detectors. However, they're in a constant battle with hackers to stay one step ahead of the curve.
Pretty much.
There are two main types of hacks in Fortnite that I want to cover today.
Okay.
One are trigger bots,
Okay.
and the other is ESP. Aimbots and trigger bots are pretty self-explanatory. It basically gives you a robotic arm. You see, the computer will automatically lock onto opponents' heads.
Jeez, it looks
that
so
you don't
crazy
have
to watch,
aim
bro.
train at all. The hacks will basically do the
Yo,
work
whoever
for
this is
you.
aim training right now is
to be
insane.
fair, it is much more nuanced, and if you are a terrible player that starts cheating, it's very obvious, whereas a good player might not be as easily detected.
Oh, why did we use REIT? Yo, why are we bringing back the REIT allegations, bro? I thought we beat that.
Their aim only gets slightly better. And then there's ESP, which is another type of hack which are called extrasensory perception. When you have hacks
Actually, that's what ESP stood
turned
for.
on, it will display important player information on the screen.
this is the
and
sketchy
let
one.
players
So
walk.
hard to tell if
And
someone's
on
using
top of
this.
seeing them, you'll also know what HP the players are at, possibly what rank they are, what weapons they have, and anything else that
That's-
the
yeah.
developer puts in. See, most of these hacks come from sellers online. These hackers basically promise you that you can play the game undetected from Epic's anti-cheat software, but
That's
in
concerning.
reality, you will probably get caught anyway. Epic Games knows that these sites exist too because they've sued cheaters before, not just once, but multiple times. In 2017, Epic Games sued a 14-year-old who was advertising
Get him.
hacks on his YouTube channel. And he wasn't some massive YouTuber, he only had 14,000 subscribers.
Wow.
But Epic is incredibly serious. They argued in the lawsuit that these hacks were not only ruining the fun of the game, but also actively violating Epic's copyrights. On top of that, in 2022, Epic Games sued an entirely different cheater known as Blaze FM. Blaze was selling cheats alongside inactive accounts with rare
Jeez.
skins and a bunch of other stuff that went against Epic's terms of service. Obviously, Epic Games was not happy with him either, and we don't know how much Blaze was required to pay Epic Games, but we do know that Epic Games won the lawsuit and donated all of the money they won to charity. After
That's
he was caught, however,
all round
he
Ws.
never sold hacks
Hell
again.
yeah.
And you
Huge
should
Ws.
consider these cheaters' luck, because in other game titles before, people have not gotten away with just a slap on the wrist or paying some money. In 2020, Barry Bowser, a member of the
3 years in jail!
Executor, was arrested for his role in distributing hardware and software
How does that even go, bro, in prison?
What are you in for? Yeah, I murdered a guy. What are you into? Yeah, I was trafficking a kilo of cocaine. What'd you do? I cheated in Mario Party.
What the fuck? What?
Get Drive My Way and get a personalized rate based on how you drive. American Family Insurance.
You know what's more powerful than money? Let me break some numbers down. Odds of owning your home, 4 out of 10. Odds of earning a 6-figure salary, 2 out of 10. But the success rate of armed robberies is 9 out of 10. Just make some content.
Blue is for blanks. No one has to get hurt, all right?
Go, go, go! Oh, shit. Oh, Golden Girls, all right. Welcome to our channel, How to Rob a Bank.
15 banks, 900 million views. These clowns are making the FBI look like fools.
Nintendo consoles. After his arrest, Bowser was extradited to the United States.
How are you going
in
to jail for
2021,
this?
And after that, he pleaded guilty to multiple charges, where he was sentenced to 40 months in prison. This case was the first time highlighting the serious legal ramifications of hacking for making.
That's insane, bro. You don't mess with Nintendo. That's what we're learning. Fortnite, you know, you get sued a bit, public apology, donated to children's charity, whatever. Like, Nintendo, you are going to jail. That is ridiculous.
Risk cheating for a few $100s or the glory of their name on a leaderboard. And to find out the answer to this question, I asked one of Fortnite's leading cheat developers how he started cheating in
I didn't want to buy cheats, so I had like a YouTube channel, and then I was like, good today, and then I set
and I
Well, that was good.
this long,
I think I know who this
there
is.
must be some big positive upside to it considering all the risks.
So I don't know what it'll be overall, but whether my people will be in Matrix, and all my best stuff. Every month it's about 10,000 There's other DMAs.
That is insane.
6,000 which is a livable amount of and then he will buy the cheap, so you spend like $200
See, that's the concern. That's what I've talked about, man. Like, Fortnite's NC is actually extremely good. It catches like 99.9% of cheaters. It really does. That's why, like, the average player has not ran into cheaters that often in pubs, ranked, whatever. It's just where Fortnite really let it down, and where they continue to let it down is paying out cheaters. You need to just hire a few staff members, whatever it costs, just manually check every single player you're paying out for like 6 months. Do not pay out a single cheater, and I guarantee the amount of cheaters goes down so much. Just because it's this. People see it as an investment. Just people who are bored and want to spend money to cheat and get banned is already such a small population. But people who are willing to try and risk it to then make the money back, that is what's scary. That is what Epic has dropped the ball on. That's why there's so many cheaters in tournaments and like none in the actual regular game.
I guess it isn't really surprising that there are people willing to do anything to get it. And there aren't just new players cheating. There are
30 grand is
based on your
insane.
knowledge, how many people are cheating?
So if you're just playing custom stuff, like my experience is actually good.
I don't play Zero Bills because I just died of cheaters. Motherfucker, you're the cheater. What are you?
Get it. And there there aren't just a few players cheating. There are thousands.
30 grand is
Based on your
insane.
knowledge, how many people are cheating?
So if you're just playing pubs and stuff, like a cheater's not really just going to be playing normal games, you're not getting anything from that. But if you look at like high-level tournaments, my experience is mostly in build because I don't play zero build, it's just boring and you just die to cheaters. So
Irony. I don't play zero builds because I just die to cheaters. Motherfucker, you're the cheater. What do you mean? What do you mean? How is this better? Did they turn it up more than you? What do you mean you die to cheaters in zero builds, bro? We got cheaters not playing zero builds because there's too many cheaters. Like, oh my god, it's doomed, bro. We're gone. It's over.
last season I played OC Grand Finals 7 out of 8.
OC Grand Finals, of course it's OCE.
And usually in every league there's like set lobbies, like the finals of MTS or the finals of your national, there's like 2 or 3 cheating teams.
That is disgusting.
And that's like usually there's like one known cheater with like a little bit of hasn't been banned for 2 months, and there's like 1 or 2 people that just rage back and get banned a few days later. So
Yeah,
in build I
pretty
would say
fair.
I don't know what it'll be on each region, but on OC it's usually like 3 50. But on the Middle East I saw
Like 80%. Yeah, 80%. There's no way we got the exact amount, bro. Maybe it's me, chat. What if that was me the whole time?
However, I can tell you that he was on the leaderboard of the FNCS Grand Final.
I can't leak who the anonymous source is, but here is where he was on a leaderboard that is very public and anyone can check. You just go to the leaderboard now and check. Come on. This is, dude, what? Dude, this is like putting on a fake mustache and like, well, I'm a new person now. Like, this is the worst.
Wow.
No way.
Still on that leaderboard today.
You can go check if you want to find out. Like, come on, Dimmy. So anonymous.
Caught cheating before, and not just any players. For those of you who don't know who Repulse is,
Oh, here we
he's
go.
the winner of the 2023 Major OCE.
There was one team who made waves in Major 3. Repulse.
Game long before.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform. Describe what you want, and watch it take shape. You can plan, customize, and expand in any direction. From tools built for one, to platforms ready for many. From passion projects to enterprise-grade systems. Everything is built in and ready to launch. It's a new world of creation, where you can go as far as your imagination takes you. Can you imagine it? Let's make your dream a reality, right now.
Apparently you can go from 0 to a complete site in just a single prompt with Wix Harmony. I don't know if this is going to be possible. Or vibe coding meets drag and drop freedom. We'll see about that. All right, let me try to make up a site to sell some like theoretical kombucha. Make me a site about kombucha. Make it look nice and pretty and highlighting the products. Refine my prompt. Okay, let's do that. All right, that's so much better. All right, generate my site. So now Arya, my AI assistant, is planning things out a bit, so I'm gonna let it cook. Okay, just finishing the build, and wow, are you kidding me? I typed in like the dumbest prompts, and then I refined it, then I generated the site. Now I have an actual website. Oh, and I like how I have full custom.
That tournament.
Repulse is one of the best OCE keyboard and mouse players in the first few years.
One of the best in the world.
Placing 4th at DreamHack Anaheim.
I would say at one point in Fortnite history, Repulse would have been the best fighter in the game. He came 4th at the only international event he went to. This kid was a freak. Like, genuinely, Repulse was terrifying. Not as smart as some of the players on EU and NA, but I think genuinely, at this point in the game, the best fighter in the world.
Very impressive for a player from such a small region, but come to the end of 2021, he would quit and disappear from the internet entirely.
What that means is that Repulse was not the actual player on that account. In fact, he hadn't played Fortnite in almost 2 years.
Strangely, on his return midway through 2023, he would be playing before.
That keyboard to controller switch was just one of many pieces of evidence that would come out, which proved that Reese's account was being played on by a hacker. However, this cheater was about to make a huge mistake. He actually won the Major League Grand Finals on Reese's account. And you're probably asking, why is that? Isn't the point of cheating to win and get the money? To that, I would answer yes. However, there's another factor at play here. The winner of the Major 3 at FCS would also be qualified for the Global Championship Canada. And for those of you who haven't caught on yet, that was a mistake. Because you see, this is a LAN event, and
you have to attend.
Actual account, he would still have to go to LAN because Epic Games knew what Repulse looked like IRL. And that meant whoever was playing on Repulse's account couldn't go, and Repulse himself would have to go instead. And
insane,
this
bro.
is where things got even worse. Because according to multiple anonymous pro players that I spoke to, Repulse was telling other players at the LAN event the truth, and basically saying he didn't really qualify.
Everyone at OC knew. Everyone was reporting this during the time. Like during the FNCS, everyone knew and was reporting it, and still nothing happened. This wasn't like a secret at all. It was the worst kept secret of all time.
That someone was playing on his account. And after this, it didn't take long for word to get back to Epic Games and Blast about what was going on. Later in the video, we were talking about another player for the 2023 Global Championships and their involvement with the cheating. And I promise it's someone who will shock every single one of you. So armed with this knowledge that the player is cheating, I was curious to ask the cheat developer more about how often the cheaters are getting caught. After all, if you make it all the way to global championships by cheating, who knows how many people on our leaderboards are cheating right now?
So the anti-cheat is like the Valorant, Fortnite have good anti-cheats for detecting software running on your computer. But when it's not on your computer and the only suspicious thing on your device is literally like something appearing as a real device, they're not gonna like ban you for having a real internet device.
Well, I guess that's sort of a bright side. Fortnite does have a great anti-cheat. They can ban a very high percentage of players that are cheating.
Yeah.
But if you get caught, is it easy to start cheating again?
So
yes,
when you
sadly.
get banned in Fortnite, they ban your hardware, which is like usually your motherboard, your SSD, and your like IP. So to spoof, you only really need to change your. If you don't want to buy a spoof, you can just buy a new SSD and motherboard. The spoof is like $20 to one I sell. So it just changes your motherboard serial numbers, and then you reset your computer, and then you're unbanned.
So not
It's
only
an ad,
are
it's an
people
ad.
cheating, but they're doing it again and again and again. And it creates this horrible cycle because these serial cheaters have no chance of ever being unbanned. So what do they have to lose by? I know the only big example I have given of cheating is the situation, and I'm sure many of you already knew about it. And on top of that, the Repulse situation was over a year ago. So why should you even care? Well, the truth is that is just one example that's been made.
That was
very
the
public,
biggest, like,
but
craziest
luckily
example.
Our anonymous source was able to shed some light on just how current this problem really is. I didn't know you played grand finals last season.
I came top 22. I'm not going to say exactly what I came, but yeah.
Homie, he literally showed where you were on the leaderboard. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know if whoever this is, just like didn't tee up with Timmy, or like once he did the interview, Timmy was like, yo, screw this guy, I'm definitely exposing him. Anyone who wants to know who you are right now can find out in 3 seconds.
OC Grand Finals.
Wow, that's insane. Yep, like I said before in the video, he really did qualify for the OCE Grand Finals. To keep his privacy, I promised I wouldn't tell you what his name on the leaderboard was, but I can confirm that it's true. And
You
if
shoot!
that's the
It's
case,
fine,
It's
fine.
possible that this cheating problem runs deeper than we ever thought. Just last season, this one hacker has claimed $1,000 in Fortnite earnings, and there are people that have allegedly made way more than him. Epic Games and all of the legitimate Fortnite players are basically being robbed blind by these cheaters. Now, both of those examples I gave you came
All right, how many of these people are getting robbed right now? Who would have earned on this list here if it wasn't for cheaters? Let me check the list again.
and all of the
Who we got?
legitimate
Okay.
This
didn't see that coming.
What's this?
Yes? Moving on. Yo, Nick, if we had East servers, PK if he locked in. TG does actually do really well in zero build tournaments as well. TG does his hacker watch. I'll give him that. And Lachlan, I mean, he's on an org. They could carry him maybe. Lucky's been carried before. He's got this.
Are basically being robbed blind.
I love Lucky, bro.
Now, both of those examples I gave you came from the OCE region.
Of course they did.
Many say that this is the region where there's most cheating.
Definitely.
And that the problem only exists there.
No.
Unfortunately, however,
Definitely not.
this is far from the truth. Because another great finalist from Phase 3 was recently banned by Epic Games. However, the cheater in question, Herc, made grand finals on the North American region. The region that right next to EU is supposed to be the best in the world. And after being banned, Herc even publicly admitted that he was cheating. And on top of that, he started a Discord where he's now selling his cheats to other players. And while we're talking about Herc, I want to talk about the next big problem with cheating.
Playing with cheaters. It's gonna be playing with cheaters, isn't it?
Another player from the Global Championships. Well, now it's time to talk about how one of the biggest Fortnite pros in the world, Cooper, is involved in this situation. Before I go any further, I want to clear that I am not claiming that Cooper is cheating. In fact, I am 100% confident that he is not.
He won the LAN. He's pretty safe.
That begs
Yeah.
the question, Timmy, why did you even bring Cooper up? Well, I want to point out that there is a large number of pro players who also don't cheat themselves, but are teaming up with cheaters to play tournaments. And the player that was caught cheating in the
rough
grand
one.
finals on NA actually played a tournament with Cooper in a series of
Worth mentioning, Cooper played with him before he got banned. I think that needs to be specified pretty heavily. Didn't play with him after he got banned, before he got banned, but some people still don't care.
Cooper claims that he had no clue Herc was cheating. And to be honest with you, I have no clue whether or not Cooper knew. I am inclined to give Cooper the benefit of the doubt in this situation, being that he's a high enough tier player that on his own region, he could play with pretty much any teammate and wouldn't need to resort to playing with cheaters. And I also am not only going to call out Cooper. One of the best Fortnite players of all time, Queasy, also queued up for a tournament with Herc. And
they won it.
I'll make it very clear
On
I'm not
NA.
accusing
Well, no, sorry, they
anybody
almost won
of
on
doing
NA.
this on purpose. There isn't really any way to know other than by asking Queasy or Herc if Queasy knew the truth about the situation. However, a piece of evidence that goes against Queasy is that he did make this tweet before playing with Herc. Need 3 underrated aimers for NAC.
This was after playing with Herc, I believe. In the timeline of things, I think Timmy's got this incorrect. This was after playing with Herc, right? This is pretty much like a couple days after all this was happening and all the pros were playing with known cheaters and everyone was freaking out. Afterwards, there was a bunch of pros, Queasy, Malibuka, and a bunch of people started making tweets like this as memes. Like needing really, really good aimers with not a lot of events played. Like it was, yeah, he's got the timeline wrong here. This was after playing with Herc.
Although
This
at
was like a
first
meme
glance,
and like 15 pros did it.
this might seem like an innocent tweet. The term aimer has been used by the cheating community for a long time as a way to signify that they are cheating without actually saying it. That way, if anybody from Epic ever saw these tweets, they wouldn't actually know what they were saying. And it would also minimize their risk of getting banned or receiving any
It was
sort
more
of
pros than
backlash
this
from
though.
their
No offense to
fans.
these guys.
And once again, I believe in being fair, and I won't just call out one person for this either, because Queasy is not alone. Here are tweets
Yeah,
from
here we go.
7 CS winners,
Here we go.
Malibuka, and
Now Swizzy need 3 cheers. Yo, it's a language difference, okay? Swizzy's English not his first language. He didn't realize what we were saying. He got a little bit confused, okay? Swizzy didn't. Swizzy just lost all subtlety. Yo, I need 3 rage hackers. You gotta have the craziest cheats out there. I need like straight up 100% accuracy. I'll take nothing less. Like just straight up went for it.
He says that he needs Kovacs goats. And for those of you that don't know what Kovacs is, it's a very popular aim trainer. So once again, he's using this same aimer language that Queasy did.
Dude, this guy's crazy, whoever this is.
That he wants to play with cheaters. Now, Swizzy was a little bit more direct by just saying, need 3 cheaters.
A little bit more direct.
And I couldn't find any proof of him playing with them on a leaderboard, but he may have queued with people who were later banned, so I don't really know whether this was a joke or not. But the fact that I don't know whether or not he's joking,
come on, Timmy.
The problem. The fact that the cheating situation has gotten so terrible to the fact where I think FNCS winners are willing to queue up with cheaters just shows you how bad it's truly gotten. And
I can agree with that. It's gotten pretty bad.
And you're still saying to yourself,
at Living Spaces, we create clean styles and maximum comfort together in our reclining sectionals. With our modular components, you can create the perfect configuration for your living room. Discover your new favorite place to hang out only at Living Spaces.
Living Spaces.
You could be vaping formaldehyde, which is used in taxidermy.
Oh dear.
What?
Formaldehyde. Oh dear.
What? I knew it. Oh dear. Oh dear. What?
Aren't you an elk? I don't know what I am.
Who really cares, Timmy? These pro players are already making money anyway, so who cares who they team up with? Well, that is where the problem lies. See, consistently we've seen pro players complain over and over again on Twitter.
This was after the cash cow where Booga died to the cheaters, yeah.
If any of you guys follow me over on Twitch and watch my streams, you know that I complain about it every time I get one of these guys in my game. However, there's this mindset that developers that basically says, if I I might as well join them because at the end
they've
of
got
the
to
day,
step up the punishment.
It's the game's responsibility to limit cheaters, not ours. But I don't think that's 100% true. Yes, of course, it is the job of Epic Games and the easy anti-cheat to limit the cheaters in our lobbies. But by pro players consistently queuing up cheaters, it minimizes them and makes it less likely that they'll get caught.
Agreed.
Pro players and adding to this and this isn't the only way that players are using hackers without access.
I don't know if you're going to, but I kind of want to jump in here. I feel like we just need to punish, like we need to get like a 1 week or 2 week ban if you're playing with a known cheater. That might seem a little bit harsh. It seems to have quieted down now, but a few weeks ago when it was like the strat, it was pretty bad because we have very legitimate cases where people have played with someone and had no clue they're cheating, and then it's kind of unfair to ban them or punish them if they didn't know, right? Jarian, we had like, you know, Sizzlucky and Nanolight when they were playing with Kez. Like we've had situations where I am positive, my life on the line, they did not know they were playing with a cheater. There's definitely times where pros will play with someone who they know is super sus, they're pretty sure they're cheating, but as long as they don't ask, don't tell, then if they end up getting caught, well, worst comes to worst, you don't get the money from that tournament and you're not punished. I feel like you need to get like a 1 or 2 week ban. And people might say that's too harsh, but like it would limit playing with people like that. If you're like, you know, one of the best players in the region, you're not going to play with someone you've never really heard of who's all of a sudden doing really, really good with really good aim because they might be cheating. That's probably a good thing. You probably should have to question it a little bit more. And I feel like most pros would agree with that. I get the sentiment of pros getting frustrated, like if I can't beat them, join them, because it has gotten really bad. But I feel like if you just up the punishment a little bit, not just taking away their earnings from that tournament, but actually like, you know, taking it away properly, like giving them a proper punishment, I think there'd be way less of this being an issue.
Buying the cheats themselves. Very popular Victory Cup tournaments. People are now paying hackers to eliminate all the other players in the roster so they can get a free win.
Yo, come on!
Like $30, for example, because you get a win to like clear out the lobby, kill everyone.